Oh, hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for ScubaRadio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling the radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that ScubaRadio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea, under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for ScubaRadio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Muy bien, gracias.
Yeah, that's we were welcoming all nationalities to Scuba Radio today. Thank you for that.
Sí.
For that translation. All
De
right,
nada.
so Scuba Radio, Scuba Squad connected via the web. I'd be Barry the Booger.
Here.
Jerry the Diver Guy. Vinny Two Tanks. And Mermaid Kristen, who I was just alerted to before we went on the air that she's a little bit under the weather today. Is that true, Kristen? You're not feeling 100%? What's going on? What's up?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm just really tired today. And like
Really
my head hurts
tired?
really bad. Yeah, my head hurts really bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's because I got my COVID shot this week. So
Right. Well, what day did you get your shot? What day?
Monday.
Oh, it's been 5 days now.
5 days.
So I'm thinking she just has some other bug. It would have happened within a day or so if it was COVID
I
related.
know. I'm just
So
making
let's just say Mermaid Kristen needs a little cheering up, right? So Jerry and Barry.
Well, this show ain't gonna do it.
No, I was going to say Jerry and Barry have been practicing their mermaid skills. We were talking about
stop. Nobody wants. I don't
it's
know.
time now for them to perform and put a smile on her face and show what she has to work with as far as transforming Barry and Jerry into potential mermaids of the deep.
What?
Yeah, so you're going to give her a virtual lap dance via Zoom.
Oh, no.
And for everybody on YouTube and Facebook, we apologize in advance.
Can you turn off that monitor for me?
Barry, you're first. Go ahead, Barry. Barry.
I'm playing my musical instrument. You said everyone has to have a
Quit
musical
playing
instrument.
with it. Quit playing with it. That's not appropriate.
Hey,
geez.
look, it's a Scuba Radio musical instrument. There you go.
What is wrong with him, CJ?
Where do I start?
God.
I'm not a licensed physician, so I wouldn't
Kristen
know.
is not
the
laughing.
doctor
She
in?
is not smiling. This is only making her headache worse, as well as the rest of the world.
Right, of course it is.
Yeah.
I see a smile.
What do you
on her face.
expect?
Jerry, what can you do?
I opted out of this last weekend, Greg, if you remember.
No, I don't. I remember nothing.
I wasn't here last weekend. What did you draft me for?
I didn't draft you for anything, but you were indoctrinated into becoming a mermaid.
Yeah, that's usually the draft.
We are going to test Mermaid Kristen's mermaid teaching skills.
Did you ask her if she wanted this, or
Yeah,
you just
no,
decided it would be
I
a
said,
funny thing?
Look, you really want to, show your salt of what you're capable of doing as a mermaid instructor? Take
Boy,
Jerry and Barry.
that's a challenge.
Yeah, and transform them.
Wow.
Give them a reason for living by making them mermaids. And if you can do that, your career as a mermaid teacher it'll just go through the roof. It'll skyrocket, right? I know what you're thinking, Craig. Have you been drinking?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why is there silence? Nobody's like wanting to do nothing about this, Greg. Come
Yeah,
on.
I don't know. Vinny Two Tanks
You
is giving me
wimped
the
out on
evil
us
eye.
last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wimped out.
Well, I
was
want to
sleeping.
prompt you for
Yeah.
what's going to be on the show today.
Okay, go ahead and prompt me since you seem to know and I don't. What is it, Vinny?
Oh,
Is she gonna? Don't say your word yet. Don't blow that.
No words yet, Benny.
Oh,
One
golly.
day you will actually do a rehearsal.
No,
on this.
no, I'm wondering, does Vinny, he obviously has something to say.
He can't rehearse. He's got another show right before this.
True.
one.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give his,
He
give
couldn't
him,
get that right either.
let's give him his moment.
Now, a word from Vinny Two Tanks.
That's you, Vinny. What is it? No. Yeah, okay. He doesn't have his mic on.
Secret.
This has been a word from Vinny Two Tanks on Scuba Radio.
Okay, we'll.
I think he said something quietly
again.
under the outro.
Yeah, he didn't have his microphone on. I saw his lips move, but you could not hear what he was saying. Yeah, so what was the word, Vinny? Go ahead. What was
Secret.
it? Secret.
Like the deodorant?
Someone smelling a little funky there out on the left coast today, or
It's supposed to be secrets.
secrets?
Oh, I had secrets.
There we go. All right, which is the name of the resort that the CJ is going to be at next weekend?
Not till Friday, though.
Cancun, right? Cancun, is that where it is?
I don't know.
Or Cozumel?
I just get in the van and you take me.
You're getting in a van, heading down to the river
I'm getting
under
off
a
the
bridge.
plane. I'm getting off the plane. I'm getting in the van.
There's a plane involved.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, he's going to Cancun.
Large plane.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, we're doing no.
Not like those little deals you fly in.
We're having no effect on Kristen. She's still looking a little droopy. She's just looking like, golly.
Droopy.
You know, I came on the show today. I'm not feeling good. You guys are only making it worse. I mean, come on.
It's a lot of pressure, though, Greg. I mean, we can entertain ourselves, but we're a little different.
Well, she's smiling now. See? Look at her.
I mean, if you guys can't make me laugh, then there's a serious issue because I laugh at literally everything.
There you go. See? If I just say Barry, and then Barry just makes his typical face.
That's a typical face.
That's enough. Okay. Anyway, we do have some scuba-related chatter that we're going to discuss today.
Oh, we're going to start the show now.
The Goliath Grouper are under attack again. Now, we mentioned this a few weeks ago, but Florida Goliath Grouper, formerly known as the Jewfish. That's not politically correct to call them that anymore, but hey, look, we started Scuba Radio 24 years ago. That's what I knew them as then. It's hard for me to kind of get over that, you know. So they've renamed them the Goliath Grouper or the Jewfish.
Well, they are big.
They are big critters. And they've, bounced back the last few years. I mean, they shut down the fishery on Goliath Grouper, I don't know, like 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, because they were starting to disappear from Florida waters, and obviously we don't want that. Well, there's a big effort underway. It's been going on for the last couple of years now to try to open the fishery back up, to let hunters or recreational fishermen go catch Goliath Grouper off a boat or maybe even spear them. I don't know. But the dive industry is up in arms about it. It's a problematic situation, but we're going to dive a little deeper into that today. Because not a fan. Leave them alone. They're big animals. They're worth more alive than they are dead.
They're just now recovering. Let it be for a while. My gosh.
Yeah, well, I mean, it has been a while. I mean, if you play devil's advocate for the fishing industry, I mean, I don't hate all.
No, those aren't the grouper that end up on my plate as a grouper sandwich.
No, actually, Goliath Grouper, they're so big, supposedly, when they get that big, we're talking about, they can be anywhere from 20 pounds to the size of a VW bus. But when they get that big, and that's when they're really cool to see underwater, especially, supposedly they're filled full of worms and they're not good at eating fish.
Gross.
It's not like a grouper fish. Well, that's the point. I mean, back in the day in the 60s, it was very popular for spear fishermen in particular to go down.
Fishermen.
Yeah, to go down and spear one of these things and pose for a picture of them holding a Jewfish next to them that was as big as them. And, hey, look what I caught. It's kind of no different than, the elephant pictures and the tiger pictures and, being out on safari, that kind of thing. It was kind of a thing they did back in the day. And then, after a while, people started wising up like, hey, maybe we don't really need to do this. These are, cool animals. They're more valuable alive than dead. You can use a lot of the same arguments for Goliath Grouper that you could do for sharks, shark conservation. With the, difference being that, the Goliath Grouper don't necessarily have the, menacing media element of a shark. and kind of need some extra protection in that regard because of all the negative publicity they get when there's a shark incident.
Maybe we could get on them and ride them around and video.
No,
and
that
show
wouldn't
people,
be.
Look how much
that
fun
wouldn't be
they are.
ideal.
Wouldn't you love
They
to
have a
ride
pretty
one of
big
these?
Spinal dorsal fin on them with a lot of spines on them.
Yeah, well, yeah, they are, but and fishermen are not a big fan of them because what's been happening, they have been coming back, and when you hook a fish, when you're out there, fishing in Florida waters, the grouper can come around and eat their fish off their line, and that has a tendency to perturb a lot of the fishing folk. So they're thinking,
Fishing
hey,
is stupid.
No.
Well, you could always go hunt the fishermen.
Well, no, I don't think that's a solution. We'll talk about some other options next. Stay close.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Need an escape from reality for a while? Your favorite scuba action star, Mike Scott, is back in an all-new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys: Reefs Under Pressure. From the brilliant mind of author Eric Douglas comes the thriller that started it all. Listen as Mike unravels the death of a girl, the protest of new development, and the systemic destruction of coral reefs, all against the stunning backdrop of Grand Cayman Island. This one's got it all: submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface. When he was ready and completely relaxed, he wrapped his arms through the straps of the seat cushion and gently slid into the water.
Dive back into adventure with Cayman Cowboys. Also available, Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish. Download all 5 audiobooks now at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, or audible.com.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
You're listening to Scuba Radio. 20 years.
Make that 24 now.
And still sucking.
Suck.
On air.
Hey, come on. That sting.
You can hear it on Scuba Radio, the world's first scuba diving show. From Captain Ron to Jock Cousteau, they all love Scuba Radio. On the boat or down below, if you want to stay in the know.
You ever think about that? I didn't know.
If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio. Let's go!
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. All right, so Goliath Grouper are back in the news. The fishermen want to have access to them in Florida and start hunting them down again. It's been going on for a while, but it's coming up again with the Florida Wildlife Commission, and they're having meetings and discussing it. Fishermen are pushing pretty hard to open up the fishery and allow some take of this. Now, Jeff Terode, better known as Captain Cocktail, is a guy in the know. He's been following this much, much closer than I, and I believe we got him on the phone. Jeff, you with me?
Yeah, hey, I'm just frying up some Goliath Grouper right now.
Oh,
no,
you are a liar.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, yeah, it seems a bit ridiculous, doesn't it?
Well,
the sad part is, Greg,
what is the sad part?
The fishing community.
No.
Some of our own user group is in favor of it. Some of the spearfishing group, it's a sad situation because, we're not all privy to the science like they are, but at the same time, anecdotally, many years ago when I started diving, they were prevalent here, along with all the other species of snapper and grouper and everything else. So apparently they were able to coexist back then without putting too much pressure on what the fishermen want. And
well,
I think
but what do
really
they want
about is a resource grab.
Well, I would
basically,
imagine
because
that's true, Jeff. But what do the spear fishermen want? Is it just that picture, you think, with the fish as big as them standing next to it and posing and having that photo op, you think? Because I've been told that when they get so big, these Goliath grouper get so big, they're not a very good eating fish. Is that what you've heard too?
They're not good eating when they're small.
Well, okay.
They're not good eating, period, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm sure there's some cultures that may say differently, but most people wouldn't probably discard it. And I guess it could be the trophy aspect, but there's also the competitive aspect that they claim the Goliaths are eating all the juvenile, all the snapper and grouper.
Yeah.
And I know there was a study done years ago by Don D. Maria that a lot of the wrecks over on the Gulf Coast, there were plenty of undersized grouper and snapper. There just weren't any legal size. So the premise is that the Goliaths were only eating the legal size fish.
Yeah. Okay, of course.
You understand where tongue-in-cheek went with that.
Yeah.
So, so it's kind of ridiculous. They're not back to the numbers that I would think that they need to be sustainable at. But if they were to open it up, they certainly got to regulate this really hard. And I haven't seen exactly how they propose to do that, other than we've talked before about how they husband deer. They use tags, and you have to buy a tag. And once the tags are up, that's it. If you don't get a tag, you don't get to shoot. Mm-hmm. So I would think they'd have to do something very similar to that in order to control this. Because if they were just to say, okay, you get one per person bag limit or something, they'd wipe them out in the first week.
Right.
Because they're used to us now. That's the other thing, especially not so much for the fishing side of it, but the spearfishing side of it. I mean, most of the times now you can swim right up to them. They're not afraid of you anymore like they used to be when it was open season on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and plus, I mean, the thing is they're so much more valuable alive than they are dead. I mean, when you're taking divers out at South Florida Diving Headquarters down there in Pompano, that's one of the critters along with all the sharks and eels and things.
Oh, yeah.
You want to see the massive Goliath Grouper.
It's one of the most popular out there. Even among, everybody wants to see a shark, but the Goliath sitting in a wreck looking out at you is an amazing sight, too. So, and there are certain aggregation areas, I hesitate to even mention them, that they show up in hundreds, and it's an amazing sight.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about the Goliath Grouper, Jeff, but help me out on this. Now, I've been on many trips in the Caribbean, whether it's Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, and some of the local local operators will have a resident grouper, like a Nassau grouper or something. And it seems like these fish are, trainable to the sense that they get accustomed to the divers, and next thing you know, they're swimming up all to the divers and saying hi, kind of like a puppy dog following you around. I don't know if that applies to the Goliath Grouper, but they're part of the same family. Maybe would they act the same, or what do you think?
Absolutely. I don't know if you remember back when we were doing the feedings on the Aqua Zoo, then we had 3 or 4 of these giant Goliath groupers that would come in among, everything else, including the stingrays and the moray eels and nurse sharks and everything else. Mm-hmm. And they would come in as well, and they'd just sit with the whole group and everybody else and just sit there. They weren't afraid of you.
Yeah.
At that point. So, and you'll hear the other side of the coin all while you're training them, Pablos, and that whole thing. But the bottom line is that they're majestic, they're big, and they're worth more on a tourism standpoint than they are dead, because they're no value. You can't sell them at the fish market. And so I think the big push here is not because fishermen want to catch the Goliath grouper. They want to eliminate the Goliath grouper from the competitive side of it that they feel like that the Goliath is competing to them with the fish that they're seeking out, like, the snapper and grouper complexes.
All right.
I don't think fishermen want to hook the Goliath, and what are they going to do with it?
Well, exactly. And once again, I've been told, I don't know what the truth behind this is, but I've been told that the Goliath grouper, when they get so big, they get very wormy. Like there's a lot of worm in their meat, so it's not very. It's not a good. It's not like eating a regular
jack or any of the other big predators like that. They all get the same way.
So they're not good eating fish, regardless, despite whether
not at all. And they have no value as far as resale value.
Okay.
When have you ever been in a restaurant and they go, "Hey, the special today is Goliath"?
Well,
never. Right?
It's been outlawed for the last 15, 20 years, so that ain't going to happen. But even before then, I don't think it was a thing.
No.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It just was a trophy type fish more than anything else.
Right.
I mean, why can't you catch and release? I mean, it's like sailfish, marlin, and everything else. We catch and release.
Yeah.
Why not catch and release the Goliath?
Well,
it's not about catching it.
Right.
I tell you, Greg, it's about the competitive nature of it that these fish are eating. They claim, their target.
Yeah, they're going after the fish that they are actually targeting, and they don't want that competition. It's a tough situation. We'll have to see how this goes and keep monitoring the situation. SouthFloridaDiving.com. Check out Jeff and his dive operation there. We got more coming up on the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Conventional underwater scooters can be heavy, unwieldy, and underpowered. At just over 8 pounds and with speeds of up to 7 miles per hour, the Scuba Jet Pro dive scooter is a game changer and fits in your dive bag. The Scuba Jet Pro uses an eco-friendly jet engine with impeller technology. With adapters, it can even power paddleboards, canoes, kayaks, and all kinds of water sports equipment. It's the most versatile scooter you'll ever own. Learn more and get the Scuba Jet Pro at ScubaJet.com. That's ScubaJet.com.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving, flying, and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving, flying, and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why I wanted to tell you about Nanook Professional Protective Cases. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook cases generally cost less than similar products currently on the market. From an iPhone to a full set of dive gear, whatever you need to shield from the elements, Nanook Professional Protective Cases has the size, shape, and color for you. Go to Nanook.com. That's NANUK.com for Nanook Professional Protective Cases. The evolution of protection.
Hey, baby, what's going down?
Later, nerd.
Are you lacking with the ladies?
Nope.
Enhance your scuba superpowers with a new ScubaRadio hat.
Wow, nice hat.
Just picked it up at ScubaRadio.com.
Buy 2 ScubaRadio hats and get free shipping.
Need a dive buddy, sexy?
Always. And I got a Scuba Radio hat for you, too.
New ScubaRadio hats are now available at ScubaRadio.com.
So cool.
Order yours today, or stay a loser.
Let me tell you about a friend I know. He's got the world's first scuba diving radio show. So now everywhere I am, and everywhere I go, the first thing that I tune to is Scuba Radio.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. All right, the Goliath Grouper thing, that is a problem. I really hate to hear that they could open up this fishery because they are fun to see.
Is there something? Can we sign something? Can we vote? Is there anything we can do?
Well, folks in Florida, I mean, this is a Florida Wildlife Commission issue, and divers can chime in from around the world and voice their opinion like, hey, save the Goliath Grouper and stuff. But it's really Florida divers and people that live in Florida. They're going to make the most difference because...
Well, that's us.
That is us. But people outside the state still can participate a little bit. But how you do it, just get involved with Florida Wildlife Commission and follow FWC guidelines on public comment on their website about this. And there's been some meetings going on, and I think they actually are. They may be taking comments right now still on this. So if you're so inclined and you're concerned about it, look it up online and voice your concern and tell them. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I will say, not to be negative on it, the fishing lobby in Florida is extremely strong. And despite you thinking as a diver that, well, this seems absurd. Why would they do such a thing? Well, because they can, and they do have the power to do it. And if they can prove or show enough data is out there to show that the Goliath Grouper have rebounded enough that would allow fishermen to take some Goliath Grouper here and there, they're going to get their way. And it's a sad state of affairs, but
I don't think they've rebounded.
Reality.
I don't think I've ever seen one underwater.
You don't think you've seen a Goliath Grouper?
No.
That is possible.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
They love wrecks in particular. And, if you don't remember, then you probably haven't seen them because they are definitely like a double take type of fish sighting when you have...
Look, there's a Volkswagen Bug.
Holy crap, it's moving! And then look at the mouth on that thing. It's impressive. All right, more coming up. Stay close.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
A professional mermaid says unwanted advances from merverts is the worst part of the job. Just like that, you've been made aware of a new profession and its very serious problems and the word mervert.
Hey now.
Get my flippers on and go scuba diving.
Hey now.
Watch me get my goggles on and go scuba diving.
Hey now.
Scuba diving.
Hey now.
Watch me scuba diving.
Hey now.
East Coast. Watch me scuba diving.
Hey now.
West Coast. Watch me scuba diving.
Hey now.
Midwest. You know I'm going scuba diving.
Hey now.
Dirty South. Watch me scuba diving.
Hey now.
Where is exactly Hey Now? Do we know?
You know.
What?
You know.
Somewhere down below.
You know where it is. You've got at least 2 kids.
Anyway, this is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. Hey now.
Hey now.
When it comes to Goliath Grouper, it's a sad state of affairs. But you haven't seen one yet.
No.
All right, the rest of the Scuba Radio squad has. I know Barry has, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel akin with Goliath Grouper, being that, you
That
and...
I look like one? Not quite, but I think they're beautiful fish.
Okay.
I mean, they just sit there and they just look at you, and they're huge. They are non-menacing fish.
That'd be cool to see.
And there's not enough of them out there to deplete the fisheries. The things that are depleting the fisheries are the people that are overfishing them.
Okay, that's the world according to Barry,
That's right.
Bugger, who, AKA the Grouper.
You go out there diving. You seeing what it's looking like.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the true numbers of Goliath Grouper are.
Well,
I have
not
no
just
idea.
Goliath groupers. I mean, just going out, when you go diving, you look at the dive sites here and what's happening to them. And then you go to some areas that haven't been touched and you could tell the difference.
Big time.
So,
Well, yeah, that is a possibility. Jerry, the diver guy, what say you?
Well, I still stick by the trophy hunt all the time.
What do you mean? You stick by it?
I mean, it's
That's what you
always
think they
nice to-
want?
Yeah, I think it's always nice to go out and shoot a big fish or a big deer or whatever. But I mean, that's the big thing.
Yeah, but don't you eat deer?
Yeah, but
Should, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But when you get trophy hunting, it's not about meat or anything like that.
No, they mount them.
It's.
I beg your pardon?
Correct. It's a mount.
That's the word of the day.
Wasn't that funny? But regardless, yes.
So I'm the only one? I'm the only one that hasn't seen him?
I guess so. Why don't Kristen, Mermaid Kristen, the Goliath Grouper are a close connected species of the mermaid, aren't they? What?
I've seen grouper. I'm actually scrolling through my sister's Facebook right now because she has photos from when we went diving, like for one of the very first times ever. And I'm pretty sure there's a picture of us with like a big grouper.
Yeah. Well, that's what they are. I mean, the Goliath Grouper are just really big.
Yeah.
Groupers,
I don't know if it was a Goliath grouper exactly, but I just remember, I mean, it was, oh my gosh, like 11 years ago, like when I first got certified.
Mm-hmm.
So I just remember it being like this giant grouper coming towards me and its mouth was like this big.
Right. Well,
so
one of the theories is, the old Bible story with Jonah being swallowed by the whale. They actually, there's some chatter that they think actually it was a grouper, a Goliath grouper. It wasn't a whale, that he was swallowed by a Goliath.
See, whale
grouper.
I could buy, grouper no.
They get that big.
They get big enough to swallow an entire human.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
Wow.
I'm telling the size of a VW bus, yeah.
No, they drank a lot of wine and smoked a lot of hash back then.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I'm going to
Our
say.
biblical scholar has chimed in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a Nassau grouper that you're showing.
It was in the Bahamas, so that makes sense.
Yes.
But that was like a small, I don't know. I just remember seeing a big grouper.
Right. Vinny Two Tanks, what about you? Have you seen a Goliath grouper or what? No?
Yeah, I did see him when I was in Cuba. However, I saw something that Butch and I saw something. I remember I told you, a giant California sea bass. It was as big as
a potato cod.
A car.
Yeah.
I wish we had photographic proof, but you wouldn't have believed it if you'd seen it.
That's the thing. Like in Australia and maybe in Cuba too, the cod or the potato cod is very similar to the Goliath grouper. So they call
real
them,
big.
They call them, different names, but they're kind of the same, part of the same family, or maybe even the same fish. Hell, I don't know. But they look identical. They're just really, really big grouper. Like the picture that Kristen was showing of the Nassau grouper that are fairly common sights. And those
I've seen those.
Yeah, those are the friendly groupers we see throughout the Caribbean and stuff. And but a Goliath grouper doesn't have the stripes generally. It's usually like a brownish spotted kind of, not necessarily.
I just sent him a photo of one. Tell CJ to look at his phone.
I am.
No, that's great for a radio show. Thank you.
My dad just texted and said he saw a lot of them out on the wrecks in Pompano Beach.
Yes. Well, they love wrecks. They love hanging out at wrecks. And once again, if you're cruising around a wreck, and then all of a sudden you come around a corner and you come face to face with a giant.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite startling. And actually they are kind of territorial. They tolerate divers, but if you get too close to them, they'll start thumping. And it's kind of creepy sounding, and stuff. But it'll be like, vroom, vroom, vroom. They like take their gills and they thump them together, and it makes this low rumble. It's quite intimidating because you feel it. You can feel it when they thump. So that's kind of like them saying, "Hey, get the hell away from me! You're a little too close. Get out of my space."
Well, they call it drumming. And when they drum, they usually get aggravated or they're mad about something.
Correct. Yeah. And, back in the day, long, long time ago, when we first started Scuba Radio, Manny Puig, friend of the shows from years ago, he worked with Megan Heaney-Greer. Yeah. Kind of the Tarzan of diving. Well, he did these videos with hammerheads, alligators, and actually one of his first videos was with Goliath grouper, or at the time we called him Jewfish. And I reached out to him because I found this video of him free diving down in the ocean to these Goliath grouper with just his bare hands. And he'd get in their face, aggravate them. They'd start thumping, and he'd get right in their face, and he would put his arm out there, and they would grab hold of his arm. They would bite him. He would pull his hand through the gill slit, and then he'd bring the fish to the surface.
I'm kind of rooting for the grouper at this point.
Well, exactly. He manhandled the fish to the surface. Now, he let it go. He didn't catch it, but he did it to show he could do it. And it was pretty wild. I was like, what the hell is this? And then we became friends and stuff after I chatted with him. But it was that video of him catching a Goliath Grouper with his bare hands that, introduced us, or, introduced me to his work, I guess. And
Can we still find that video?
I'm sure it might actually still be online. It might be online these days. I don't know. But basically, Jewfish caught barehanded or with only his hands. It's kind of an offshoot of noodling, with catfish in the rivers where they just sit there and go in these muddy holes and pull up the catfish out of the hole with their hand and stuff, and they're feeling around with their fingers and toes and crap. It's insanity type stuff. But the fish, we're talking about, the fish is massive. I mean, the fish would be as big as him, and he would just kind of piss it off a little bit and he'd grab hold of his arm, and then he'd bring his hand through the gill slit, and then he would swim it to the surface, because then he kind of had hold of the Goliath Grouper that way. Now, I wouldn't say that was ideal for the fish, obviously.
Probably felt like when you get a COVID test.
Maybe that, or
jam that thing up your nose.
That's being violated, CJ.
Yeah, but I mean, compare it to being hooked on a line. I'm not guessing it would be any different.
Can't be good.
Yeah, can't be good either way. But he, like I said, it was something that he did, and he was doing it to show he could do it, and he'd hook a fish, and then he could tag it without actually hooking it with a fish and tackle kind of technique. So you can take that for what it's worth. But it's unique. But the thing is, he would go down and he'd kind of annoy the fish and get it pissed at him, and then it would thump, and then it would bite him. I mean, because that is the thing about the Goliath Grouper. It is true. They kind of eat anything. They'll go after anything. So the fishermen that are, hooking a mahi that they're going after or targeting out on their recreational day of fishing, if there's a grouper nearby and it gets on the line, I mean, the grouper will come up and just eat it right off his line. They're very opportunistic feeders in that sense. So,
most fish are, Greg.
Well, maybe, but the Goliath Grouper have the capability to pretty much take whatever you get, and they're not very picky in that regard.
No. I mean, they'll take everything.
Yeah. So that's the problem. That's what's annoying the fishing community, and they're thinking, well, there's too many of them because they're taking too many of our fish. So we got to put an end to that. So that's the problem. All right, more coming up. Stay close.
Scuba Radio.
Would you like to talk diving? Greg the Dive Master's all toweled down and ready to take your call now. Call Scuba Radio at 1-888-88-SCUBA.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of ScubaRadio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures ScubaRadio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer. And Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Peregrine is a simple, full-color, multi-gas dive computer. It's also the most economical Shearwater dive computer released to date. Check it out and the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater. Dive computers for demanding divers.
Do you have a message or a product that you'd like to share with the diving world? Well, look no further than Scuba Radio. Just like you, thousands of diving enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to ScubaRadio.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, anything could happen. But yeah, the Lionfish Derby is going to be happening middle of May up in Destin, Florida.
They don't race them. It's not like the Kentucky Derby.
They race to go get the lionfish.
They don't race the lionfish. Don't race.
Well, maybe they should. Maybe that's a new thing. I mean, it is Derby Day. We should have thought about that.
I just did.
Well, you did, but how do you coax the lionfish to kind of run around?
I can't think of everything.
Aren't they just easy to spear?
They are easy to spear, but how could we corral them to participate in a real derby, like a racetrack? That would be kind of fun, actually. That would be kind of cool.
I think that'd be challenging.
We've done that with mermaids before, by the way. Did you know that?
It was just a stupid throwaway line, Greg. Let it go.
No. I'm Kristen probably. I mean, maybe she knows. Have you ever heard of lionfish? I mean, not lionfish, but mermaid derbies underwater. Have you ever? That was a thing. Like I'd say about 10, 15 years ago, we were asked to participate in a mermaid underwater race.
Now they could race,
right? And they had a path underwater, like around a wreck, and there was a race amongst the mermaids.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember when you did that.
Yeah, some of them, they had a scooter category. They had just a free diving category.
That sounds fun.
It sounds like a great spectator sport, doesn't it? So, I don't know. Would you participate in such a thing, Kristen?
Yeah, actually, for the Miss Mermaid pageant, they do something. They don't really do like a relay or derby kind of derby.
Yeah.
I can't talk. Sorry, derby, but they do kind of like the competitions where who can swim the longest underwater and things like that. And
right.
I think that's always fun to watch.
Sure.
I
yeah.
would definitely participate in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one race that we watched, it did involve scooters. So the girls.
That seems like cheating.
Well, I mean,
they have to swim.
Well, they were all streamlined, so they were in their mermaid outfits, and they had to, they had to maneuver just like a racetrack would. So it could be
whoever has the best scooter is going to win then.
Whoever has the least amount of drag.
Well, they also have to have good breath holding.
They have to have good breath holding. Drag is an issue. They have to be, so the more streamlined mermaids had a tendency to win over the more voluptuous ones.
Nicely done. Nicely done, Greg. That's a true professional right there, ladies and gentlemen.
And that event did happen. It was actually, I believe we did this down in Pompano, Florida, years ago. And
what I remember most about that was the cool underwater signs and flags and stuff they had.
Right. They did the whole thing. Yeah. It was a whole NASCAR thing. It was a huge event, and they did it once and never did it again.
Well, they was scooter racing for a long time, Greg.
Okay, but not as mermaids. Not as mermaids.
Well, not as mermaids.
Yeah, but this was a special mermaid thing, Jerry. I mean, I don't know. Is it? I mean, they only did it once, and then they never did it again. I mean, should we bring it back?
Yes.
Is it and maybe tie it into the Lionfish Derby, or I don't know.
Just by itself.
We just by itself.
Well, I mean, you got the Kentucky Derby. Maybe we do the Florida underwater mermaid derby.
Kristen could represent ScubaRadio.
She could.
She could be our entry into it.
We could hook her up with the scuba jet, and if you gave everybody a scuba jet, all the mermaids have equal scooter. Then it's all about how well can they maneuver through the water.
Now you're on to something.
Yeah. Now the only downside to the scuba jets, Kristen, is that Kristen was. I mean, I don't know if you've had any experience with the scuba jets, but the Aqua Gypsy Brittany did. And she was having a problem with it blowing her drawers off because it was so powerful.
Well, if you're wearing a tail, it's not a problem.
House and watching you test them.
No, well, okay, we could do that too, but then that would just get us in trouble. So I'll just move on. Hey, look, we are going to talk about some new dive flag ideas. It's a thing. It's happening. We're going to talk about it in hour 2 of the world's first radio show devoted to diving. Stay close.
Down below if you want to stay in the know. If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio. Let's go! Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio. This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters? Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.
Hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling your radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that Scuba Radio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for Scuba Radio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome to Hour 2 of the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me. We got the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad connected via the web. Barry the Bugger, Jerry the Diver Guy, Benny Two Tanks, Mermaid Kristen. We all got our shots, and we're ready to go diving. And local diving has been, the hot commodity over the last few months because can't really travel outside the country yet. It's just now starting to open it up, and hopefully we're going to take advantage of that soon. However, we have been doing a little bit of local diving down there in South Florida.
Yeah, buddy.
And, the only downside to doing that is that, you usually have a lot more traffic to navigate as a diver. If you're diving off the coast of South Florida, say down, Pompano, wherever, lobster season, that kind of stuff. And there's dive flags everywhere. There's boats everywhere. It's a highly populated area. And sometimes there's conflicts. There's problems that arise from that. Jerry the Diver Guy really put me and CJ to the test last year for mini season when he had a tendency to drift away from the dive flag. But
we had to go rescue him. We had to go find him.
Well, we did. He didn't get too far away. But you got to stay close to your dive flag, not just for yourself, but really for your buddies and everybody for that matter. And because it's the only way the boaters are going to know to avoid the area. And a lot of times the boaters don't even know what the heck the dive flag means, let alone if they even see the
which is incredible
thing.
To me.
Yeah. So we have Dave on Scuba Radio right now. Dave, welcome. How are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm wonderful today. What a beautiful day down here in South Florida.
Yes, it is. It's really nice down in South Florida today. Now, Dave is one of the guys behind this new dive flag design called 3D Buoy. And Dave, the thing that you have developed with the help of brownies, I believe, is basically just a much larger dive flag that boaters can see. Is that it in a nutshell, or how would you describe it?
Well, let's get away from the term flag because flag is basically one-dimensional.
Right.
So let's think about a buoy that displays 3 flags on it, 36 inches high, highly visible. It's good for night diving. It's good for day diving. It's good for rescue. It's good for a lot of things. It's very highly visible. out on the water, and you can't mistake it for what it is.
Right. Yeah, this thing is like a giant float. Think of like one of those Russian dolls, or like one of those like kitty punching bag type deals. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, but a giant dive flag painted all over it, right?
Yeah, and it's a great device. You can't get it underwater. Sometimes when you're pulling those dive floats around and the seas are kind of rough out there, if you're on the bottom and you're holding on to the line, you pull that flag underwater, and that presents itself as a problem.
Right.
The wind's blowing at a certain direction, you can't see that flag, but with the 3D buoy, you can see it from every direction. There's like I said, it's highly visible from all angles.
Yeah, and this is an inflatable dive flag type of contraption. You can check it out, 3dbuoy.com. I believe. Did we get the website page up working today, or were you still trying to figure that out?
It's up and running right now. It directs you to browniediver.com, and it's got all the information on the website.
There you go. And unfortunately, this whole development, I don't know if it was put in place before or after, but it kind of dovetails off of a incident that happened a while ago with a boater and a diver who they collided because of, the boater didn't see the diver. The guy, lost an arm or something, right?
I'm not really familiar with what extremities he lost, but I know that myself and Robert Carmichael, the founder of Brownie Divers, we developed this. We came up with the idea back in the early 90s when one of our friends got both of his legs cut off by a boat.
Yeesh.
And he was a fireman out of Hollywood. And so we got our wheels turning, and there was another incident in Palm Beach, in Stewart, where another diver got his legs chopped off. So, we got it. This 3D buoy has been actually out since 2015.
Okay.
And we've been trying to get it out on the market, try to get it. It was approved by the legislators to actually be used as a dive buoy. They wrote new legislation for it, and we're really excited about it and trying to get it out there.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, the problem is the boaters. I mean, you got two issues. One is there are a lot of boaters out there that do not even know what the dive flag means, unfortunately. Now, that's just ignorance on their part. They're supposed to know this. But, hey, look, humans are humans. They have a tendency to blow stuff off sometimes. And then the other element to the dive flag is that a lot of times, you're diving off the coast of Florida, for instance, or anywhere for that matter, and if the seas are slightly rough, it's very difficult to see a lot of these dive flags. Now, they're minimums. I think the current minimum's 24 inches square or something like that? Is that what it is? Or
20 by 24.
20 by 24.
From a boat. But the divers are actually allowed to display a 12 by 12.
12 by 12, which is way too small. And this new 3D buoy that you guys have developed is much bigger, much more visible. I mean, even if they don't know what the dive flag means, this thing is pretty beefy. It almost looks like a pylon floating on the water, and any boater would probably go, okay, I don't want to go there. So you're kind of hitting double duty there, aren't you?
Yeah, if you get close enough to see it, it says warning diver below. So
right.
That's the idiot-proof part of that.
Exactly. Yes. Well, and unfortunately that's what you have to do sometimes. You got to make things idiot-proof.
Greg, if you only had a show, we could talk to boaters about this.
Oh, yeah. That would be
you could tell them about unique. The dive flags.
Yeah,
and make sure.
Actually, on the World of Boating, our sister radio show, we do talk about that quite a bit, and that's why I know there are a lot of boaters that have no idea what the dive flag means.
That blows me away. I just assumed everybody knew.
Yeah, you would think, but
I want to interject on that as well. Don't be fooled by that. Even the divers themselves are violators.
True. Jerry, the diver guy, are you listening?
They see a dive flag. They may not realize how far 300 feet is on the ocean. They may think that the divers, directly underneath this flag, and they come close to it. But it's not all just recreational boaters that violate the rules.
That's right. Yeah, as a diver, you have a responsibility to stay near your flag. You're legally obligated to do this. And as boaters, you're supposed to, keep a safe distance away as well. And there's, depending on where you are in the country, it kind of varies a little bit. But once again, the reality is humans are humans, and they have a tendency not to follow the rules or not to pay attention sometimes. And that's when, tragic things result. And this is just one solution that looks pretty smart, pretty well laid out. And so, the idea is just to get more people aware of this, especially divers, like, hey, look, you got an alternative to your standard dive flag. It's not only going to be safer for you, but just, you're just trying to get the word out there that we have this option now, right, Dave?
Yeah, and you know what? I think a lot of times, too, is people marginalize, a dive flag. They say, oh, I need a dive flag. That's the law. $29.95 and I'm good to go. And is your life worth $29.95? Or, are you going to spend a little bit extra to get something where somebody can actually see you out on the water?
That's right. Yeah, you can go cheap and take the risk, or you can be a little bit more smart about it, and put in all those extra measures that you can to make it just that much better. Kristen, what do you think? You like this idea? Do you have a question? Yeah.
Well, I will say though, I'm looking at it on the website. I do really like that you can put a light in it and illuminate it at night. I think that's really cool.
Sure.
It looks like super bright, and I think that's really smart.
Yeah, that is one option you can do for sure. I would imagine, right, Dave? You can do that.
And it doesn't violate any Coast Guard regulations, so that's a plus too.
There you go. All right. Well, once again, 3dbuoy.com. Dave, thanks so much for the update. It's great work you're doing. And I don't know, we're going to have to get one of these things and strap it to Jerry the Diver Guy next time we go diving off the coast of Florida. Good stuff. All right, more coming up on the world's first radio show devoted to diving. Stay close.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer, and Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Taric is the best, most intuitive, and reliable wristwatch-sized dive computer on the market. Check it out in the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater, dive computers for demanding divers.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Make yourselves comfortable and prepare to witness a man brought to
the very edge of madness.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. I don't know. I think we need one of those 3D buoys.
That sounded really cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. It's a very well thought out design. A little bit more expensive than your traditional dive flag, but
it's only $89.
Right. It's only it's worth the extra investment if your life depends on it. Settle down, holy Christ! Jeez, everybody's talking at once. Okay, now, all right, Barry, you're up. What now? Jeez.
I said when you and CJ go diving, you always have a tendency to pull the flag down. This one, I think, would survive you.
That's just because I'm too strong. I don't know my own strength.
No, I think it's the current. Sometimes working against you. The problem you have, especially if you're diving in a lot of wind or current, for that matter.
They'll lay over.
Yeah, you pull the flag over, but this 3D buoy, you actually put some water in the base of it, and that's what keeps it standing upright. Yeah. But like one of those little kitty, like bozo punching bag things that you get when you're a kid.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it looks like, and it floats on top of the water.
Great idea.
Yeah,
I actually looked at them when I was down Walt's the last time, Greg.
Really?
I went over to Brownies. Yeah, they're pretty nice.
They're nice. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And like Kristen pointed out, you could put a light in it, and on a night dive, it'd be very, very visible.
Romantic.
Very what, Barry?
Romantic.
Later, nerd.
Loser.
Yeah. But making things safer is important. Yeah. CJ's already started his vacation. He's going to be off next week at Secrets in Cancun.
Couple of days of work, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
Secrets.
So, all right. But
you have a great trip.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He will have a great trip. He'll be able to rub it into the rest of us. But I don't think they'll have those 3D buoys. So
no, but I'm going in the ocean because it'll be warmer than when we went in December.
Is that
December, it was a little chilly.
Yes. So, this time it'll be nice and warm, toasty, and all the booze is included, so chances are the water around him is even going to be a little warmer.
No, Greg, stop it. Get your mind out of the toilet.
Okay.
Pull the chain and flush your mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Flush your mind.
That's hard for him to do, CJ.
Right. But, when it comes
Metamucil.
to dive flags, we alluded to this with Dave. It is very important as a diver to just assume the boaters have no clue to what a dive flag means.
Yeah, when you're down there and you hear...
Dive, dive, dive. Yeah, you hear those boat motor engines. Don't assume they see your dive flag.
They always sound closer than they are, but I always just assume they're close.
Right. Yeah, and it's even more prevalent when you get into other countries. Yeah. Little island nations. There's so many places like, the little island fishermen, they have no clue what a dive flag means. And, your dive operators will try to, keep them at bay sometimes, but they don't care. So it's really up to yourself.
What about snipers on the dive boat? Now, hear me out. Sounds extreme.
It does sound slightly
Sounds extreme, but I guarantee it would help against a diver-related injury.
That would be a technique that would be very effective, however highly illegal, I'm guessing.
You're saving a life.
Navy SEALs, that'll work.
So anyway, stay near your dive flag. Don't assume the boaters know what a dive flag even means. The more visible you can be topside with a 3D buoy or anything else for that matter is only going to be better for you. And when you get the fever of lobster or there's something that distracts you, just remember, you do have a responsibility to stay near your dive flag.
All right, so let's go back to this issue, Gregory.
Why?
Facts are facts.
I was beside of you, and
were not.
I tried to get your attention.
Doesn't matter.
And to say, look, there's a coral head right over here.
Right.
But your sense of direction is...
Oh, boy. Is he really going to try to spin this?
Is not there.
So, if you couldn't get his attention, then you still got to stick with the flag.
Right.
But
it wasn't up to me. I wasn't holding the flag.
I could still see you guys.
Good point.
When I was on the coral head.
No way.
Yeah.
If we couldn't see him, he couldn't see us.
Correct.
Swimming. CJ probably could not see me, but Greg probably could have.
No, we were looking for you.
Wouldn't have mattered.
We couldn't see you.
Wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter if I can see you.
We had to pop up and ask Koji where the hell you were, and he said, "Bubbles over here."
Yeah,
Koji's the one that found you.
Yeah, Koji was upset. Koji was not happy.
He wanted us to leave you there to die, but we said no. You know.
But you all kept swimming while I was catching lobsters.
No, we were in one spot. Greg was pulling these lobsters out of the hole. We didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But y'all didn't pass me up.
Jerry, you're digging this hole even deeper right now. You realize that, right?
I come out.
We need an impartial.
We have enough people here. Kristen, we have Judge Kristen. Mermaid Kristen is also our judge.
She'll be the voice of
jury.
reason.
So, Kristen, you've heard his argument. Does it hold water, literally? What do you think?
I'm going to say no.
Good call.
In your face, loser.
How's your buoyancy, Jerry?
Moral of the story is, at the end of July this year, Jerry, stay in sight of everybody.
No,
wait. Stay
with your
inside
flag.
of everybody.
Stay with your flag.
Oh, okay.
Lobster, they can either wait on me or go the hell on because I'm bringing.
You gotta have
his own flag
etiquette. Like as soon as Greg was done, I would have followed you over there if I knew what you were doing. I turned around and you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, who had the flag?
CJ had the flag.
Then then every diver, it's their responsibility to stay near the flag.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The guy with the flag is not lost.
Lobster.
Barry has spoken.
And Jerry should know better being an instructor.
He should.
He holds higher certifications than I do.
Lobster fever.
Yeah, okay. That's his defense. Lobster fever.
To the plate. Why are y'all?
Well, listen, Greg had disco fever, but I don't let him dance.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I can dance pretty good. When I want. If there's a mirror ball involved.
Please don't dance.
Yeah. Well.
Trust me.
Boy, this took a really sad turn, didn't it?
I can't help it, y'all.
All right, that's enough. That's enough out of you guys. Gee.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Scuba action star Mike Scott is back in a new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys, Reefs Under Pressure. From author Eric Douglas comes the one that started it all. Listen as Mike deals with submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface.
Download Cayman Cowboys or Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, and audible.com.
Do you have a message or a product that you'd like to share with the diving world? Well, look no further than Scuba Radio. Just like you, thousands of diving enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to ScubaRadio.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Let me tell you about a friend I know. the world's first scuba diving radio show. So now everywhere I am, and everywhere I go, the first thing that I tune to is Scuba Radio.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. That is Scuba Cowboy, by the way, and he's been gigging quite a bit throughout Florida.
My favorite country artist.
Yeah, and I told him that I got the new Scuba Radio guitar, and he saw the pictures. He heard us talking about it last week on the show, and
he creamed his spinach, didn't he?
Hello.
Didn't he?
He dug it. He dug it. And so, it's just a matter of time before we're out performing together. Maybe at Bugfest at the end of July.
One can hope.
Scuba Radio guitar.
Would that be a duet?
Yeah,
or would Sweet Baby Lettuce be
it's
there?
Like Tammy Wynette and George Jones.
Baby Spinach.
Baby Spinach, right.
Well, I don't know which. I don't know. But I could bring it down there and perform.
Let him try it.
No, what do you mean let him try it, Vinny? I would play with him. I'm not going to let him play my guitar.
Listen, I got to come clean.
Air guitar.
Come clean,
Greg
CJ.
is better. He's a better guitar player than you think.
Ha-ha.
Yesterday, we went down to the Guitar Center, and Greg was trying out some top-of-the-line, sweet Gibson Les Pauls.
Did he play Stairway to Heaven?
No, but he was rocking out.
I was just going to say that.
He was playing several songs, and I did recognize them.
See?
Mary had a little limb.
Yeah. Nope, that wasn't one of them.
He was playing Judas Priest.
Priest, yes. Played some ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Started doing the Eruption Van Halen thing, which is a big no-no at a guitar store. You're not supposed to do that, but I did it anyway.
Why are you at Guitar Center again?
Come on.
Yeah.
Are you getting another guitar to rap?
Yeah, I'm looking at, well, not to rap, but you can never have too many guitars.
He likes to rap.
It's all about how you look, not how good you are. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way down low like Jimmy Page.
Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Doug, actually, I talked to him this week, and he picked up one of the scuba jets here at the office to go take on a dive. But he said, hey, I heard you last week playing guitar. I sure as hell that wasn't you. And
wow. Compliment.
He was like,
he's just sucking up because of
too good.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Remember, you're swimming right now. Enjoy it. Don't grab for the water, man. Relax and just float. This is awesome.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. All right, yeah, Dr. Doug came into the office this week to borrow one of our scuba jets, and he's going to use it for a unique thing, not to be pulled around underwater as you would typically use a scuba jet.
He's going to use it for the exhaust to shoot blood out of the way during an operation.
Wow. Now, you know what? If I would have told him that, I bet that would have made the light bulb appear above his head. But no, he told me he was planning to go find
shark teeth.
Shark
teeth.
Yeah, shark teeth. Why do I said lionfish? I was going to say lionfish. Yeah, shark teeth off the coast of North Carolina.
See, I was right.
Yeah. And he's going in like 100 foot of water on rebreathers. Oh, yeah. So he's going to spend a lot of time and go deep into a primo location for shark teeth.
Now, would you say, would it be fair to say that Dr. Doug is the most technical diver on Scuba Radio?
Yes, I would. He's a KISS rebreather instructor, mixed gas. He does all that stuff.
He's kind of a badass.
But he wanted the scooter to blow sand away. He wanted to use, he saw the website for scubajet.com, and he goes, hey, Greg, could I borrow one of these? I'm not really using it as a scooter. I need to blow the sand away to expose these megalodon shark teeth that we're going after.
That's how you hunt for treasure, too.
That's right. And I was like, you know what? This would be an ingenious way to use one of these scuba jets that I'm sure they haven't even
We have
considered.
to go do that now.
We do.
There is several, well, there's a few places off North Carolina coast you can do that.
Right. Well, I'm sure. And if they're in 100 feet of water,
they are probably on either Wrightsville Beach or somewhere right through there.
They're on no beach. They're in 100 feet of water, Jerry.
No, that's what it's called, Greg.
It's in the ocean.
They're
the
on
beach.
a ledge.
The ledge,
about 100 foot down.
Yeah. And have you ever done that? Have you ever? You've dove that deep?
I have been where they're probably diving.
Yeah.
He left the dive flag and went and found a ton of shark's teeth.
Actually, I didn't find no shark's teeth.
Yeah, because he didn't use a flag.
Now, do you think since he's going in 100 feet, do you think the shark's teeth would be more plentiful?
Yeah, because
less picked over than a shallower area.
Less people are exposed to the area.
It's a well-known shark tooth hunting place.
Yeah, but you still have to be fairly accomplished as a scuba diver to be diving that deep.
The thing that's got that Dr. Doug has got going for him is he's going to be on a rebreather.
Right. He'll be able to stay down longer.
I was on a tank of air, which,
100 feet, you're going to get 20 minutes tops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm limited to what I'm going to be able to do.
Right.
So, no, I did not find no teeth.
Well, there you go. See, I think he will. And plus, he'll have
found a lot of teeth.
He did not find no teeth.
Right.
I did not find no tooth.
Which is a double negative. So he did find teeth.
Right.
No. I found nothing. Nothing.
Now, do you bring a little bag with you or like a net or like what do you put the teeth in?
No, you stab the teeth into your buddy. Usually
into your buttocks.
Yeah, into their thigh.
I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah.
That would be a question for Matt Jackson.
Yeah. That would be because he's a shark tooth catching expert. Absolutely.
If only he was on the show, we could ask him.
Yeah,
well, shark tooth hunting is getting about a month away.
What do you mean about a month away?
Is there a season?
They have to be in season for it.
Yeah.
Mini shark tooth season.
There is actually a season for it.
Why is that? Just because of the weather?
It's cold.
Weather.
Is there a size limit? Like they have to be 3 inches or something longer?
The teeth cannot be pregnant.
It is a weather thing.
Okay.
So bigger is better.
Well, I would imagine he's going to come away with some big monster megalodon shark teeth, is my guess. Because plus, like I said, he can use this blower. The scuba jet is so powerful. CJ and myself had these things underwater.
They're awesome.
At Lauderdale by the Sea, and we were playing around with them. And they have a lot of juice.
I blew sand out of my shorts. Hello.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why he wanted it.
I tell you, we've seen these things blow the drawers off of divers.
Good thing I had that drawstring cinched up tight.
Yeah, exactly. Like, whoa,
he had a mankini on.
Yeah, it's kind of scary how powerful these things. Got to be careful with that much. With power comes responsibility.
Right. Thank you, Spider-Man.
So anyway, you have to use these in creative ways, and that's what Dr. Doug's going to do. So he'll have a full report for us next week on the show. I think he's going tomorrow and Monday.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to listen. I'm gonna miss next week.
Yeah, well,
I'll catch the podcast.
No, maybe you shouldn't go because it's so important. Shouldn't go to America.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you just stay home and you don't miss anything? It's that important. It's that important.
This
CJ.
has been planned for months.
It has. Yeah.
So trip.
Thanks.
It is going to be everybody's going to be very jealous of CJ next week.
I'm jealous.
He's CJ. He's jealous just of you right now.
Don't be.
He's not even
I'm
waiting.
at Greg's.
Secrets.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's
They're
the
getting
resort.
a lot of. We shouldn't mention.
I know
them.
we get nothing from this.
Not unless they're advertising.
Right. Come on, Secret, step up.
Vinny, turn on your mic.
Yeah. Why?
It was on.
Yeah.
In order. Secrets.
Really?
They miss me already. That's what it is.
Evidently.
It's Mother's Day next weekend. You better call your mama.
I talked to her today.
There you go. Preemptive strike.
A week early.
Get it covered.
I still hope you have a great time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, what we don't know, CJ's still he's not sure if you're not going to do a scuba dive. You don't think?
No,
just snorkel.
I don't want to deal with rented gear. I'm not going to bring my own. I don't know.
Well, you're going to bring your snorkel, right?
The party I'm going with, nobody dives.
So yeah, that's what I was getting ready to ask.
Well, that just means you're drunk all the time.
Exactly.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
It's basically wake up, breakfast, pool, beach. You're constantly waited on. There's cocktails.
Yeah, you don't want to mix diving in with that.
Lunch, cocktails, dinner, cocktails.
Drink.
So, CJ, is the person that you're going with, or they're not certified, correct?
No, she's not.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to jump in the ocean. I'm going to just kick around.
Are you going anywhere with that, Jerry, or you just wanted to point it out?
Hey, he knows the world's greatest instructor.
Yeah, but Greg doesn't have his insurance anymore.
Right. I'm not teaching right now.
Oh, my God. I love
Thank you, CJ. Thank you.
Greg.
Oh, hey, look at that. See?
Your jets were?
That's right. See Kristen on her virtual background on YouTube and Facebook. You can see the fountain of fun that we are making with our scuba.
I think he said they were at like 50% at that.
Yeah.
Is that you and me?
No, that was before. That was the time before.
Because we did that too.
Yeah. Yeah, we were like we were making.
That's a lot of power.
That was fun.
It's a lot of power. It's like like a fire hydrant hose or something. Like a fireman's truck hose.
It's pretty good flow.
It's a lot of flow.
He uses Flowmax.
I was telling Greg that's good pressure for your age.
Mm-hmm. True, so true. And but thank you for that, Chris. That's so inappropriate. All right. So anyway, but no diving for CJ, but he'll still be able to report on all the critters. You say because the water's clear and stuff too,
in the ocean.
You'll be jumping in, cooling off, relieving yourself, whatever.
Someone's got to warm up.
He'll be sitting on the beach like, okay, well the restroom's over here, but the ocean's right there.
Which one's closer?
Yes. It's it's Mexico, so.
Yeah, what happens in Mexico stays in Mexico.
You see a little puddle underneath the sea.
Well, there could be a little bit of that. But are you doing any tours? Or are you just going to stay on the resort?
No, man. This place is, you don't want to leave.
You don't want to go to Tulum and see the ruins in Mexico?
Nah, that's a good ways away.
The cenotes?
That's a little ways away from where we are.
You could go there and witness like a human sacrifice or something.
I'm good.
We get that on ScubaRadio.
Actually, you could just see it on the internet. Stay at the resort.
Yeah.
Secrets.
Well, you could do that, or you could go.
Will
you stop already? Jeez. It's like creepy. It's like
Pardon me.
It's making things awkward.
Stop that, Jerry.
Yeah.
I am innocent.
Of what?
Secrets.
Yeah. Okay. You guys, what we already said, we're getting nothing out of this. They keep promoting the place. They better give you all the free drinks you can have while you're there.
It's all inclusive, so that's already a done deal.
They're going to do that then.
Feel of free drinks.
That's the power we have.
It's so great.
Radio. With all this publicity we're giving them, we are guaranteeing you'll get your free drinks.
Well, we should play the show at the bar there.
There you go.
They may throw him out of the country.
They'll deport him in no time.
I'll just whip my phone out and turn it
Hey,
off.
this is me. Get the hell off our property now. Yeah, that's how it works. All right. Wow. It's like pre-vacation time here today or something.
Yeah.
Scuba Radio.
Would you like to talk diving? Greg the Dive Master's all toweled down and ready to take your call now. Call ScubaRadio at 1-888-88-SCUBA.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer. And Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Peregrine is a simple, full-color, multi-gas dive computer. It's also the most economical Shearwater dive computer released to date. Check it out and the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater, dive computers for demanding divers.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving, flying, and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving, flying, and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why I wanted to tell you about Nanook Professional Protective Cases. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook cases generally cost less than similar products currently on the market. From an iPhone to a full set of dive gear, whatever you need to shield from the elements, Nanook Professional Protective Cases has the size, shape, and color for you. Go to Nanook.com. That's Nanuk.com for Nanook Professional Protective Cases. The evolution of protection.
Hey, baby, what's going down?
Later, nerd.
Are you lacking with the ladies?
Nope.
Enhance your scuba superpowers with a new ScubaRadio hat.
Wow, nice hat.
Just picked it up at ScubaRadio.com.
Buy 2 ScubaRadio hats and get free shipping.
Need a dive buddy, sexy?
Always. And I got a ScubaRadio hat for you, too.
New ScubaRadio hats are now available at ScubaRadio.com.
So cool.
Order yours today, or stay a loser.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
It was interesting scuba diving. I remember the first fish I saw. I could have sworn he took a double take at me like, what the
Bigger than you ever did. Going everywhere you never been. All we do is dive in it. All we do is dive in it. All we do is dive in it. All we do is dive in it.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. CJ's in the studio with me.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been, he's grabbed the Scuba Radio guitar and did a little Mame That Tune. Mame that tune.
I can't play guitar.
But I could tell what you were playing.
I'm strictly a percussionist.
You were playing Ozzy. And
a little bit. I was trying to play Crazy Train.
Yeah. But see, you maimed it.
Failing wildly.
You maimed it. I named it. So, congratulations. You win.
Thank you. What do I win? A Scuba Radio hat?
No.
Don't be a nerd.
I guess I'm going to stay a
loser.
loser.
For you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Secrets.
CJ is heading to Mexico, not to do a dive, just to go relax, to chill. But shortly thereafter, we are planning some adventures. The Bahamas, as we mentioned last week, has announced that they will accept your negative COVID test as opposed to a
their vaccine.
Vaccination. Vaccine as opposed to a COVID.
Well, I'm going to
test,
make a copy of my vaccination, and
copy?
I will have been 2 weeks prior to my second shot, so I should be good.
Yeah, you will be officially. I don't know what Mexico's doing, if they're doing the same thing, but they very well may be doing the same thing, where you don't have to.
I believe they're.
Well, actually, you didn't even need a negative test.
Last time I was there, we went in December, and they did like they'll check you for a fever.
Right. Like, stick your tongue out, say ah.
No.
They didn't do that. They just said.
They did make me bend over and grab my ankles, though, which I thought was odd.
Right.
But I just, I don't know. I complied.
Hey, what's in there?
That was on deportation, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And did you like it?
I loved it.
Okay.
Come out with a smile.
Stretch me out.
Welcome to Mexico. Yeah. So you went through your typical cavity search.
Yeah.
Went into Mexico.
They didn't
had a
find
good time.
anything I had hidden, which is good.
So when you come back, though, the big question mark will be, what does the USA require for you to come back into the States this time?
If I have to stay there, so be it.
Well, it won't be that, but they haven't announced. The USA has not announced that they will accept a vaccine card as opposed to a negative test. So you probably still have to get a negative test.
Like I said last week, Greg, you can always run to the border and cross over. I mean,
yeah, if I have to go through via Texas, that's fine.
Well, that's not the point. You can
climb over the wall. It's easy if kids can do it.
Why climb over the wall? Just walk across.
Well, there's that.
Swim. You can swim across the real
But my hope is that the USA...
Or I could float into the Sebastian Inlet on a bale of marijuana.
Okay. One of those square groupers. Yeah, well, my hope is, though, the USA will follow the lead of the Bahamas.
Barry, if you're out boating down by where you live and you see me floating in, pick me up.
I will pick you up.
But wouldn't you like to see the USA follow that lead and say, okay, now that you've been vaccinated, you have your card.
Yeah, Jesus.
You don't have to get a
why did
negative
I
test.
do this?
Yeah. And how long will it take us to catch up in that regard? I would imagine this is going to happen throughout the world. They're going to start.
Well, they do seem to be
vaccinations.
about 3 to 6 months behind common sense. So.
Well, possibly, but it'll be interesting to see because
that's because of DC.
Well, it is, but let's hope that maybe that will change too, because that's still one more hoop you got to jump through to
they
get
care
back.
about the immigration,
and maybe we can avoid having to get a negative test.
I do have that global traveler thing that lets me just like shoot right through once I get back, which is cool.
Yeah, but I still think they're going to require you having a negative test, so you'll have to do a
I'll
rapid
take a test. Yeah, I think
Could
you
you
take it right before you leave.
Could you tattoo that card right onto your body?
I mean, you could.
And the
but
point of
why
that would
you?
be.
Well, then you wouldn't even have to carry the card.
But every year?
I don't know.
Don't you need a booster every year?
Well, you just tap in a new date.
No.
Here's a travel tip for you. Your vaccination card and your passport, for that matter. Take a picture of it with your phone.
Yeah, I already have.
Yeah.
I was told you're not supposed to bring your original because it's too valuable. So it's like make a copy.
What,
of
your
it.
vaccination card?
Yeah.
Yep. You say take a picture.
It's
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, that'd be one
I'm
way
gonna
to do it.
picture
Sure.
and photo. Copy.
Yeah. I'd say a hard copy too, but yeah.
Yeah.
In a pinch, take a picture with your phone.
They are saying do not laminate your card.
Yes.
Yeah, don't laminate it.
Because you may have to get a booster shot.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Yeah, that may be. Kristen has hers now, or at least you had the first shot, right, Kristen?
Yeah, I got the first one.
Yeah.
Why?
So,
Why?
what do you mean, why? She wants to travel like the rest of us.
Yeah, but why? You should have done this months ago.
She's too young, dude.
Because she's younger than the
why
rest.
I waited.
Yeah. Wait, say that again, Kristen.
I said everybody on the show, well, at least you do, Greg, and Jerry knows why I have waited, and I was extremely reluctant to even get it to begin with.
Right. Yeah,
If
I mean,
you want
everybody
to
has.
travel. You have to have it.
Plus, she's
That's the only
like
reason
20
I
years
got it.
old,
Yeah.
so they had to wait till they open it up to teenagers.
Well, she's a young little whippersnapper. So chances are, even if she were to get it, she'd be okay. But the fact that, they're making it difficult to travel without being vaccinated, that was the thing that kind of pushed her over the edge. Like, okay, stick me. And so she got it done. And
Yeah,
I think it's a
wasn't
good
very
one.
happy about it, but I got it done.
Yes. Well, it's never fun to have to go through that nonsense. But hey.
Just ask Barry. He whipped out on this last week.
Well, he missed 2 full shows because of his vaccination. But you know what?
no.
I'll give him a pass because he's allowed to do that, for the greater good. Anytime we can abuse him and make him feel miserable, that's a win, right?
Sure it is.
Yeah. Okay, and on
Always,
that note,
Greg.
we'll wrap it up for this week. Till next time, remember, it's always better. Where, gang? Where do you think?
Down where it's wet at.
Safe diving, everyone.
If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio. Let's go!
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio. This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters? Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.